So today's video is going to be a very fun and exciting first impressions. Get ready with me. This is my first impressions of 2024. So we are going to be using for the first time the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palettes. I was not sure if I was going to get this palette, but then I talked to Debbie and I was already like pretty much convincing myself that I was going to get it because look at this packaging. Look at this. I am obsessed with anything that has to do with the cosmos, with stars, with like astrology, any of that. I am for it. So when I saw this color story, I was like, that's pretty beautiful. And this is what the color story looks like. And I think that this is absolutely breathtaking. I think this is one of their best color stories they've ever done. I ended up skipping over the Ghost Town palette just because I felt like I didn't need that. And then Nomad didn't end up doing a Christmas palette this year, which was actually pretty interesting. I don't think they released anything else after the Ghost Town palette, if I'm not mistaken. Unless they had a palette in between, but for some reason I'm blanking on what palette that actually was. So why did I feel like I don't think they had the Flight Club kind of collection, which I didn't really have any interest in either. But since then, I haven't picked up anything from them. But once I saw this color story, they get me with their winter releases, man. I picked up the Whistler Snow Lodge 2 years ago, back in February of 2022. And then last February, I picked up the Verona palette in 2023. And now I just picked up this one in 2024. But the main reason why I picked up this palette is because all the shimmers are multi-chromes in this palette. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mattes and 6 stunning multi-chromes. So for today's look, I really want to use some of like these shades here. I'm not sure if I'm probably going to use this gray or this bluish gray because I really want to do a blue look because I'm kind of wearing all denim today. And I kind of want it to be a little bit of like a denim-y kind of inspired blue look. So that's what we're going to do. And also, I really could not resist using the blue today. So I think the first shade I'm going to go into is the Cosmos. And that's like kind of the more grayish blue color. I actually kind of just used a shade like this yesterday from ColourPop. So I guess that's the vibe lately. But we're going to start with that shade. Now, I've seen a couple of reviews on this palette. I think I watched Batty Beans. I'm pretty sure I watched Debbie's. If I didn't, I'm definitely going to. But I had just missed the premiere of her using this palette. I don't know if I went back and rewatched it. But I did talk to Debbie about it. And she was basically saying that you will probably love this palette even more than the Royal Europe palette, and that is kind of a big claim for me because the Royal Europe palette is still my absolute favorite Nomad palette that they've ever done. Out of the 6 Nomad palettes that I own, I think the Royal Europe palette is not just the best palette because it has multi-chromes, but because the formula of the mattes and the multi-chromes are literally perfection in that palette. Like, the mattes are so ridiculously pigmented, but they blend out so easily. I can already tell. I think I like these mattes more already than the ones that were in the Okavango Safari palette. I thought that palette was stiffer. This one, they take a little bit more building up, but they still blend out very well. But the Royal Europe ones are just like instant pigment, but they blend out so easily and they're kind of just like super velvety smooth that I don't know if I'm in love with this formula, but I know that grays are hard to build up in general. So I can't really judge it from like a gray shade at the current moment, but so far this is taking more building, but I really like how it looks. Like that's like the perfect shade to start with. I'm so glad I started with this one. It's just such a pretty shade. And I'm just gonna build that up even more, and then we're gonna go into another shade. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. Now we're gonna go into the blue shade called Takapo Stargazing. I'm probably butchering that name, but this is such a stunning blue shade, and of course I had to use it for this look. This is literally like the denim. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my god, those two colors look so good together. Oh my god, that's such a pretty blue. Yes. Oh my god, I love that shade. I knew that this shade was going to be even more pigmented, and that definitely amped it up for me and made the look even better. But I still think I like the Royal Europe mattes more. But these are really good. Like, I know when I get a Nomad palette, that's why I keep on going back to them, that I am going to love them. And this is now my seventh Nomad palette. So depending on whether or not I decide to pick up another palette that I decide that I need to add to my collection this year, like whenever they release their next palette or whatever, because they have been kicking ass with their releases the past year or so. So I probably will be convinced. I don't know why this shirt is so tight on me today. Like, I haven't worn this shirt very often, but I wanted to wear it today. But for some reason, it's so tight when I bend my arm to blend my eyeshadow that it's almost like kind of difficult for me to do it because it's too tight. But I think that blended out pretty well anyway. So I'm just going to go for a little bit more on this side. I'm going to do my base and everything off camera just so I'm not like talking your ear off forever. And then for the outer corners, I was thinking about using this shade, but I think it's going to be too light. So I think I'm just going to go right into the black. I kind of wish that, which is called Dark Sky Nation. I kind of wish there was like one more deepening matte in this palette, but of course I'm glad that there's a black in here because with black you can pretty much do anything. And black like adds so much to a look, so it's not really like a huge deal. And the more I look at this palette, the more I understand that these colors are very complementary colors. Like the purple and the orange actually, well, it's not really like super orange, it's more like a coral shade. Those are gonna go really well together because I was hoping that there was gonna be like another purple in this palette, like another purpley matte, but like all the mattes are actually going to go together really beautifully in this palette, that there's going to be some beautiful, I already feel like they're going to be some of my favorite looks. So, or they're going to be like really pretty color combos. So I think it's stunning. And again, the main reason why I added this palette to my collection was because of the multi-chromes, because Nomad's multi-chromes are absolutely amazing. And also, like, I really don't have that many multi-chromes in my collection. One, because they're very expensive, but also because somehow Nomad makes them affordable in these palettes. Like, I think this palette's like, I think it's like $50, which honestly is such a good price for 6 multi-chromes. Like, this is actually, I think, a little bit less expensive as compared to the Royal Europe palette. The Royal Europe palette was $60, but again, I thought that was so worth it because it has multi-chrome. So, as long as, like, their multi-chrome palettes stay at $50 to $60, I'm sold, because that's such an affordable price for multi-chromes. And also, they are so so good, you guys. Like, they last so well. They are super smooth on the lids, and they're just stunning. So, I mean, like, what else do you need to hear? So, for my lid, of course, I have to go into the blue shade, which is called Milky Way. This shifts so beautifully, and when they were doing, like, the teasers of this palette, like, for you to guess, like, what the location is, everybody kind of, like, guessed that it was just going to be a straight up Milky Way palette, but then it ended up being, you know, New Zealand, which I'm actually really happy they did, because they have never done a New Zealand palette that is beautiful. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I didn't really care, like, what the location was for this, because I was just so happy that they were doing, like, a star galaxy kind of inspired palette, because I was all for it. So I have no complaints. Why do you think I picked it up? So that is so beautiful. I think that's really pretty. Oh my god, that's stunning. Again, super smooth multi-chrome formula. Nothing I expect less from Nomad's multi-chromes, and that is really pretty. The shift is not, it's not that strong, but it shifts from blue to like a purpley pink, and it's super pretty. I really like it. I like it. It's pretty. Ooh, I really like this look a lot. It's stunning. And I'm like, I haven't done a blue look in a little while. And the more and more like palettes that I pick up with blues in them, the more and more I want to do more blue looks. Because I've said this before that like I feel like blue is kind of the most intimidating eyeshadow color for me. I feel like everybody has that kind of intimidation of like, you know, eye looks that are just going to be a little bit too bold for you, that are a little bit out of your comfort zone, or just something, just a color that you think isn't going to look good on you. Trust me, just try it. And then you'll see, like, why was I afraid of that? Like, I don't know, it's just fun to take risks with eyeshadow. Like, it's still my absolute favorite thing about makeup. And this look is kind of more like I've said before. I've been doing a lot more like wearable blue looks for myself. And I really, really love like smoky blue kind of looks and smoky purple kind of looks like this. Because if you start with like a shade that's kind of like similar to the color, but like kind of has that bluish grayish hint to it, it kind of like, it makes the other colors pop, but not like too bold, where I feel like this is a look that I really love to wear. And the blue isn't too out there, but you can tell it's blue, but it's just such a pretty look. So I'm just going to blend out the eyeshadow a bit more off camera, and I'm going to do my base, and then we're going to come back and do the lower lash line. Okay, so I went ahead and did my base off camera. I used the Do It spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip primer, and then for my foundation, I went into the Glossier foundation because I kind of wanted some coverage today. So this is the shade Very Light, and then I went into my Tarte C Hydro Flex Concealer, my tried and true, and then I just set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with Urban Decay powder. And now we're going to go back into the palette, and I really want to use the shade Magellanic Clouds on the inner corners. It looks like such a beautiful, like, super icy kind of shade, and I'm all about that right now. So I'm going to take that and pop it on the inner corners. That is stunning. It's kind of like super shifty, like pinky orangey. I was hoping it would be a little bit whiter, honestly, but it's still really pretty, and it goes really nicely with this look. But I actually expected it to be even whiter, but that's okay. I'm just gonna roll with that because it still goes really nicely. But I didn't think it was gonna be like orangey, but that's fine. And I'm just gonna do that over here. And then I think for the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna take that blue again because it's just such a pretty shade. I think that's gonna be the shade we use on the lower lash line. That's what I just said. That the blue is kind of carrying over a little bit from the blue that I put in the crease, because it kind of ended up on my brush a little. Let me use my pinky. Yeah, that's better. That's pretty. That's really pretty. And then, like I said, I'm just going to use that blue, and I'm going to take that on the lower lash line. I am getting a bit of fallout from this shade, like I said, from the crease, but this shade is very pigmented, so just gonna go ahead and smudge that. I don't normally do this that much anymore because I always deal with friggin' transfer no matter what I do. Like, I know people say you should spray your brush, but for some reason, even when I do that, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but it just like ends up separating and it just doesn't work for me. So I just end up applying it dry. But I feel like this is going to be all over my under eyes by like the end of the day. But pray for me. Pray for me. So, I just wanted to give you guys a book update. So I am now currently reading Empire of Storms, this one, and Tower of Dawn. It's literally right there. I'm not gonna grab it because they're just too heavy. Because they're hardcover. If they were paperback, it'd be like no big deal, but I can't really grab both one-handed. But they are books 6 and 7 in the Throne of Glass series. So now I'm on books 6 and 7. In my last video, which should be up before this one, I talked about the books I want to read in 2024 and the books I had read already in 2024. And all I'm reading for the whole month of January is the Throne of Glass series. So now I'm on book 6 and 7 because originally I was just going to read them one right after the other. But then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to try the tandem read because I've never done that with any books. I've never done that before in my life. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do it. So I decided to do that, and I'm already... It's been like, I don't think it's even been a week since I've been reading them because I started them, I think, on Sunday night, but I think I had only read like the first 40 pages of Empire of Storms because it has you start with Empire of Storms and then you like go to Tower of Dawn and then you switch back and forth between both for quite a while. And my goal for this week, reading both, is that I really wanted to get up to the part where there's like a super long stretch of reading just Empire of Storms, and that's what I'm up to. And now I'm on page 470 of Empire of Storms. So I'm in the 400s of both books now. And the books are, okay, that looks better, but I don't know why I used the House Labs powder, but here we are. Okay, that looks better than before. Let me just add a bit more to my crease. We're almost done. And I'll just throw on a lippy off camera later because I actually have to call someone soon within the next like 10 minutes. So not really running as smoothly according to plan, but it's fine. I just have to figure out a blush and highlight. But I think I'm going to use my M Cosmetics blush for highlight. I don't know. I'm kind of almost thinking about using that Mangelic Cloud shade as my highlighter because it's such a beautiful color. And I think it would work so beautifully for this look that I'm thinking about just doing that. Because I do that sometimes and sometimes. Or I might just use my Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette. I can just do that and use like the bluish shade in there. So I'm probably just going to do that, honestly. I just want to get that to be a little bit more pigmented. But yeah, like, I am so glad I decided to read them that way. And I'm glad that I got up to the part where I could just read Empire of Storms for a good 200 pages because that's like the longest stretch of one book in like the middle of your tandem read. So I would probably say I'm like 2/3 of the way into it at this point because each book is over 600 pages. Empire of Storms is just shy of 690 pages. It's 689. And Tower of Dawn is 660. So now I'm just going to put on black liner because I think black liner would just make this pop the most. So I'm just going to take my Makeup Forever one because I feel like blue would kind of get a bit lost. And honestly, all I've been wearing liner-wise lately is black or brown. So yeah, I just think it makes your eyeshadow stand out the most. I kind of want, like, I do more so like colorful lash lines or like a pop of like a colorful eyeliner in like more so the spring or summer because I really like that kind of like pop of like neon kind of color sometimes on your waterline. But in the winter time, I usually just switch off between brown and black. That's just my style of makeup now. But this is such a beautiful, like, smoky, wintry look. I'm loving it. But anyway, what I was saying about the tandem read is that I'm so happy that I decided to do it this way because some parts of Tower of Dawn have been boring. And I really thought that I was going to enjoy this book, like, as much as, like, the next person. I think I'm just going to use my Tartelette mascara. I was going to grab Gunny. I was going to grab the Rare Beauty. Oh, wait, okay. So anyway, but I decided to use this one. So yeah, I really am happy that I'm doing that because some of the chapters of Tower of Dawn have been really hard to just get through. That, like, I just find myself not really caring about some of these side characters that are in this book. I'm just like, okay, can I get back to Empire of Storms? Because literally this whole stretch of Empire of Storms has been so good that I don't want to stop reading it. That's why I've gotten up to 470 already. When I just started that stretch yesterday, I got to page 400 yesterday. And then I kind of stopped because I wanted to do some other stuff last night. I was like, I kind of read enough yesterday. And I had read all of what I needed to catch up in Tower of Dawn yesterday morning because I couldn't fall back asleep after like 8:30. So I just made it my business to catch up to the part of Empire of Storms before I went to work yesterday. And I think I had read like probably 100 pages in 2 hours, but I probably would have read more if the Tower of Dawn chapters weren't so boring. Like, that's why I couldn't stop reading Empire of Storms yesterday because it's just so good. So I honestly feel like stopping the tandem read right now and just finishing Empire of Storms and then going to Tower of Dawn and finishing it. Because I want to keep up the momentum of Empire of Storms, but we'll see where Tower of Dawn goes, because I think after this I have like 3 chapters of it before I make that decision. I think I'm going to use my House Labs bronzer because I haven't used it in a little while, and I don't like when I don't use it for too long, because this is like my favorite bronzer from last year, and I still am using it. I don't think I'm probably going to pick up any new bronzers this year. I'm trying to be really good with, I don't need to talk about the books anymore. I updated you. And then I also ordered the ACOTAR series, and it came yesterday, and the reason why I wanted to get it this month is because I don't know if my Amazon trial is up, but I think I'm going to have to start paying for it. But honestly, I might actually become an Amazon person now, because honestly, Amazon is the best place to order books. So this is actually the most I've ordered on Amazon in my life, because I'm not really an Amazon shopper, but now I've been ordering on Amazon because I wanted the free shipping to order the ACOTAR series, because I know that would have been probably like $10 shipping, because it's not like it's a light package. So I'm actually really happy that I decided to do that. What else was I saying? I already forgot. Hold on 1 second. I was trying to say that I was trying to be better about makeup purchases this year. I haven't really picked up too much makeup at all, besides this palette that I'm using now and the new Ensley Rain palette, but I knew that this palette was going to come before the Ensley Rain, and honestly I was kind of itching to try a new palette at this point, because actually I didn't pick up any new palettes in December. I think the last palette that I actually had gotten in 2024 was the Christmas Eve palette by Odin's Eye, just because, you know, that palette was re-released and I wanted to get it. But other than that, I really haven't bought any makeup this past month. And I'm just trying to be better about makeup purchases, because honestly, I don't need a freaking thing. I really, really, really don't. My drawers are like bursting at this point with too many palettes and too many cheek products. I think I'm going to do a massive lip declutter, because I only wear like a handful of my lipsticks. And also, like, I really just need to be smarter about blushes and highlighters, because even highlighters, like, I end up only wearing like certain ones that I know are going to be good. But my blushes I'm pretty good about rotating, but I really just don't need another cheek product. I have way too many at this point. That is like, I have enough for like my lifetime, to be honest. So I use the M Cosmetics blush in Persimmon. I think it's Persimmon. It's Persimmon. Oh my god. Why is that word so weird to say today? Okay, and then like I said, for my highlight, I'm just going to go into the Noctilucent palette by Blend Bunny. I think I'm just going to throw on my lippy later and then just come back and film an outro, because I'm going to have to go. So yeah, I'm just trying to be better about it. But I've mostly been reading a ton. My goal is to get through these 2 books by the end of next week, because today's January 20th. I'm hoping to get through them by, I can just use a fan brush with this. I think I'm going to use Apparition. I don't know if I want Far Out, because that one's a little bit too purpley for this. Yeah, that is perfection. Like, I never get tired of this palette. It's always stunning. And it just works with literally every look that I do. Like, every colorful look, I end up reaching for this palette all the time. I mean, I haven't used this palette that much this year yet, but I've already used it, I think, at least 3 times. Because, like, one other time, like literally yesterday, I had to use it. Well, actually, I used the other Blend Bunny palette yesterday for that pinky color because the highlighter that I used wasn't really showing up the way that it was supposed to. So I'm like, okay, forget it. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Maybe I will do my lippy now because he hasn't called me yet. But that's sturning. But where's my other highlighter brush? Like, what? The F. Oh, it's right here. Oh my god, like all my brushes fall sometimes, and it's just like I have so much crap. It's not even funny. I have just way too much stuff. So I'm just trying to be better about buying more stuff in general. I also don't think I bought one stitch of clothing at Lucky this year yet, and I'm trying to keep that up. Also because we really haven't gotten anything new that I'm like remotely interested in. So that's good, but also like I mostly pick up stuff from Lucky when like they come out with their winter sweaters because that's still my favorite clothing item from Lucky brand is their sweaters. I'm just obsessed with their sweaters, and it's really hard for me to not buy them. So, but I did buy quite a few of them last year that I'm like, I really just don't need anything else like at all ever. So, but I just need to do a massive clean out. So yeah, I'm pretty much done. He wants me to talk to him now. So yeah. Okay, so we're back. I want to do the lips with you guys because I just got off my phone call. So I actually have a little bit of time before I need to leave. I have like 15 minutes-ish, kind of. Just want to grab a lip liner. So we're just going to use Minuteman from ColourPop. I actually haven't used this one in a little while, and this is usually like my go-to. I've been using the Makeup Forever one quite a bit. Hold on one second. Everything is like such a mess next to me. Oh, and also I feel like it was so perfect that I still had these nails for today, so I could use, because they go so well with this palette. Like, are you joking? They go like perfectly. So all right, so let's just line. But if you guys know me, I really love doing like a warm tone lippy with blue. Let me just line really quick. So for my lips, I'm going to use this Dior lippy. This is, what is it called? The Rouge Dior lipstick in the shade 200. I think this will be a pretty color with it. Yeah, that's perfect. I haven't used this one in a while, so. But yeah, I like this warm tone, but it's not like too orangey to go with blue, because I always think orange and blue look so pretty together. And I'm loving it. Yeah, this look is beautiful. I really like this look a lot. And I think I really got that like denim-y kind of blue look across. And I really have been enjoying like more smoky, colorful looks. Because again, I just feel like they make them more wearable. I'm just going to finish my lips off camera. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes. I'm absolutely in love with this eye look. I think it looks gorgeous. The cheeks and the lips. And I'm obsessed with this lippy with it. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this palette so far. I think this look is gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be wearing it throughout probably the rest of this week. It's Saturday, but probably going to be wearing it for the next few days because this palette's fantastic. It's the fantastic Nomad quality that I'm used to. And this look is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so glad that I did the blue look as my first look. It's just so pretty. I love it. And I forgot to say in the beginning of the video that the other review that I watched of this, besides Batty Bean, because I always watch Batty Bean's Nomad videos, but Annette's Makeup Corner posted her review yesterday of this palette, and she said that some of the mattes in here were a little bit difficult to work with, especially like the purple shade and like one of the peach shades in here. So I'm gonna have to do a look with like the peach and the purple, I feel like she did. And also I really want to put that color combo together anyway, to see how I feel about it. But I think it's gonna be gorgeous. I think this is beautiful. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I need to go, so please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And let me know if you guys were interested in picking up this palette. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.